Unlike most competitors, the Opel Astra H has a fairly high-quality paintwork. The exception was cars made in Poland. On such specimens, the paint swelled and fell off in pieces. Fortunately, the manufacturer eliminated all the shortcomings under warranty. The body is completely galvanized. Thanks to this, it resists the onslaught of the red disease well, but nevertheless, over time, from the effects of reagents that are generously sprinkled on our roads, it is possible to detect pockets of corrosion in the tailgate, door edges and thresholds. On cars of the first years of production, the headlights become cloudy and the handles of the rear doors can also stick. All motors are quite reliable, but after 100,000 kilometers of run, they require little investment. The 1.4 engine proved to be the most trouble-free, but due to the insufficiency power, this power unit is not as demand among motorists. In the more common 1.6 and 1.8 engine, in our operating conditions, the catalyst and the EGR valve become dirty very quickly. The problem is especially relevant for cars operated in the metropolis. One of the most serious breakdowns that many Astra owners have had to deal with is jammed intake and exhaust camshaft gears. This trouble occurs on a run of 60–80,000 kilometers, and after repair there is no guarantee that it will not happen again. Signs of problems will be increased noise when starting the engine, rattle, rumble, and deterioration in dynamics. Also, the main disadvantages include a small resource of the rear engine mount. It becomes unusable every 60–70,000 kilometers. Often, owners are faced with the malfunction of the ignition system module. The cause of the disease lies in poor contact in the connectors and untimely replacement of spark plugs. Closer to 250,000 kilometers, a rupture of the membrane responsible for the recirculation of crankcase gases occurs, located in the valve cover. You can identify the problem by the unstable operation of the engine, as well as the blue smoke from the exhaust system. Very often, the engine is sentenced to overhaul at the services. However, the problem is solved by replacing the valve cover. The most powerful power unit, in most cases, does not require repair up to 150,000 kilometers, but minor troubles, such as fogging of the cylinder head and oil smudges through the crankshaft oil seal, can occur after 20,000 kilometers of run. All motors are equipped with a timing belt drive. According to the regulations, belt replacement is prescribed every 90,000 kilometers, but there have been cases of belt breakage after 50,000 kilometers. Therefore, it is better not to risk it and change the belt every 60,000 kilometers. The pump is usually changed every second belt change. Diesel engines are reliable, but demanding on the quality of fuel and lubricants. Among the shortcomings of the diesel engine, it should be noted weak fuel equipment and a small resource of the particulate filter, replacement every 50–60,000 kilometers. If the filter is clogged, the thrust disappears and fumes come out of the exhaust system, like from an old Kamaz. Also, due to design miscalculations, the engine control unit suffers. It is exposed to moisture and dirt. Of the most costly problems faced by owners of diesel cars is the failure of the dual-mass flywheel, resource 100–150,000 kilometers. Signals about the presence of a problem will be knocking and vibration when shifting gears. It is worth noting that the gears turn on clearly. Opel Astra H customers were offered 3 types of gearboxes to choose from: mechanical, automatic, and easytronic robot. Mechanics is considered the most problem-free. Even a clutch kit serves 100–120,000 kilometers. The only thing for which you can blame the manual transmission is only for the lack of synchronizers. Because of this, the reverse gear does not always turn on correctly. Among the shortcomings faced by owners of cars with mechanics, one can single out a leak in the rear crankshaft oil seals and a small resource of the output shaft bearing, 60–80,000 kilometers. On some copies, after 70,000 kilometers of run, cracks appear along the seam of the box. If, when switching from the first to the third gear, a blow is felt, it is better to contact the service, but in most cases, it is enough to change the oil to eliminate the ailment. Breakdown, but a feature of the transmission. The most common automatic transmission problem is the leakage of coolant into the hydraulic culprit of the box, after which the unit completely fails. If the outer neutral fails, cleaning the jet in the box will most likely help. When switching to emergency mode, the box only works in 4th gear. The robotic transmission is very capricious and requires attention every 15,000 kilometers, maintenance and clutch adjustment. During operation, the driving disc is erased, while the point of contact with the basket shifts, but the controller responsible for the fuel supply does not know about the shift in the point of contact and delivered the wrong amount of fuel. As a result, this leads to incorrect operation of the box and premature wear of the clutch. It is worth noting that even with timely maintenance of a robotic transmission, its resource in rare cases exists 150,000 kilometers. Before buying a car with a robot, be sure to ride it. If there are strong jerks when switching, it is better to refuse to buy such a car. If we talk about driving characteristics, then the suspension copes well with the realities of our roads, but it is characterized by increased noise. If you do not take into account the stabilizer struts and bushings, resource 20–40,000 km, the support bearings and steering rods are considered the weakest point of the chassis. Their resource, in most cases, does not exist 60,000 km of run. Wheel bearings, the ABS sensor becomes unusable after 50,000 km, and ball bearings with medium loads nursed 50–70,000 km. The remaining suspension elements serve 100,000 km or more. The weakest point in the steering mechanism is the steering rack. As a rule, it starts knocking after 100,000 km of run. Fluid leakage may also occur. This, over time, can lead to the destruction of the assembly, but if you notice and fix the problem in time, complications can be avoided. There are no complaints about the reliability of the brake system. The only thing that the owners complain about is the small resource of the front pads, 30,000 km. On this, almost every car has crickets in the cabin. The car cannot boast of the reliability of the interior electrical equipment. The main problem in electronics is the incorrect operation of the buttons of the steering wheel and steering column control levers. The reason is a faulty steering column SIM module. There are also complaints about the climate control system, or rather, the air recirculation damper. The problem is manifested by a characteristic crack from under the console. If you are the owner of this car model, please describe the problems that you had to face during the operation of the car. Perhaps it is your review that will help readers of our site when choosing a car.